In deep red Idaho, a state that has voted Republican in every presidential election since 1968 and has been a solid red 100% Republican state since 2000, is still having to battle out the boys and girls bathroom issue. Boise lawmakers passed a bill that would ensure biological males are banned from girls' restrooms and locker rooms. Yet, an Idaho high school girl still had to find herself sharing a bathroom with a biological boy because of her public school policy. The reason this issue keeps coming back is simple. School districts around the country have been adopting policies allowing students to use restrooms based on gender identity. Those policies are often written at the district level, which means they can collide directly with state law or with the expectations families have about privacy in their school facilities. Now, the courts will have to sort out where the authority actually sits, with state law, with school district policy, or with individual claims of gender identity. The decision could force school districts across the state to rewrite their rules about bathrooms and locker rooms. Our next guest is front and center in this battle. Director of Strategic Initiatives at the Idaho Family Policy Center, Caleb Pirc, joins us now. Caleb, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I want to dive right into the very obvious tension here. This story tells us that you can live in a state where your legislators are on your side, your teachers might even be on your side, your entire community may be on your side, and yet you can still be victim to a policy no one voted for or wants in your community.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Chanel. I think that's you're totally right. What happened here was the Idaho legislature passed a law to protect women and girls. And instead of follow that law, the Boise School District openly violated that law. And we have the opportunity to represent this young girl who was a student at Boise High School while this happened. And twice she encountered a biological male in the women's restroom at the high school after the law took effect. And when she went to school administrators to ask why that happened, they informed her that the student was allowed to use the bathroom as part of a gender support plan that the school had given him. And this is just in clear violation of Idaho law.
Do you get the sense that the school administrators are at the mercy of the district's rules and they're just following orders? Or is there something else going on here? Is there more of an agenda being pushed?
You know, we'll see as the litigation plays out. Who was in charge of making that decision. But ultimately, the school district made the decision to allow biological males in the women's restroom and to allow those who want to use it as part of their gender support plan that they issued to, at least to this student that our client encountered. And I think that just illustrates kind of the point that you're making, and that is that despite the fact that there was a law passed by the state legislature, signed by the governor, Boise School District decided to flout that, but we intend to hold them accountable for their actions.
Unbelievable. So again, when we hear these headlines, it feels like an older story. It feels like something that we debated and settled a year ago, 2 years ago, when the new administration came in and kind of did away with a lot of this from the education department level. But it just seems like slipping in these little rules in deeply red states, which I don't imagine there's a huge trans community or a huge gender identity community in Idaho. It just seems so anomalous. It feels so inorganic, if you will.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, students like our client just want to be able to go to school and get an education, right? And no female student should have to experience the anxiety and emotional pain of encountering a male in the women's restroom, right? The restrooms are one of the most private places that someone could go. And that's why the legislature took steps to protect students in women's restrooms in public schools in Idaho. But Boise School District decided not to follow that law. And that really harms people. It harms people like our client.
I urge our viewers, just remember this case, remember this story. The moment you think that you've got everything under control, again, you have the legislature on your side, you've got the community on your side, maybe even most of the teachers, and still, policy totally contrary to your community can be imposed on you or your children. It's a sobering reminder. Caleb Pirc, Thank you so much for what you guys are doing. We look forward to having you back on for our updates.